Welcome, we're the Bitches with Beards, and we love discussing all things culture.
And on this podcast, we chat our top 3 cultural moments of the week.
It's our cultural three-way. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Max, and we saw you from across the bar.
And we really like your vibe.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Max.
We're back.
We are. We promised we'd return, and we did.
Yes, refreshed after a Christmas holiday break on the dreariest of Saturday mornings because it's MAL weekend in DC, which means it's cold as tits.
It's snowing, it's sleeting, it's raining, it's disgusting.
That's Daniel describing the weather, but maybe we should describe this new podcast format for you.
Yes.
They always say the best things happen in threes, so on this podcast, we're going to talk our top 3 cultural moments of the week.
We'll talk about the 3 things that made an impact on our own weeks, and then move on to what shifted the culture for everyone else.
And, as always, it's going to be gay adjacent, and just a little bit camp.
So let us fetch you a drink, make yourself comfortable, and we get this party started.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, we'll do cheers and still. Yay.
Yeah, we're still going to cheers.
Some things never change.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully some things do, Daniel. So how was your week?
Oh, my week. I have been escaping into escapism by just reading up a storm, as you can see from the stack of books I have lent you.
Yes. I bought Daniel some books for Christmas, and they're already back with me because he's finished them.
Right. I voraciously read over the break, as in I'm on book number 7 for the year.
Good for you.
I know.
Well, 7 books, but you've only got 3 things to discuss this week.
That's true. That is so true. How about you? How was your week?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, second week back. The world needs to actually restart now.
Yeah, you were telling me that, and I was confused.
Yeah, like the world needs to restart.
Yeah.
I appreciate that people want to take it slow. It's we're in the
we're
teens,
in circle back season.
We're in the teens of January. We really need to get the world restarted, because some people are moving forward with things and others are leaving us standing still. So yeah, had your break. Everyone's refreshed. I know it's in time now.
Here.
So Daniel, tell me, what were your personal top 3 cultural moments of the week?
My personal top 3 cultural moments of the week. So number 1 was the fact that I made a vegan banh mi and pho last weekend.
Delicious.
I have a resolution this year that I want to do a brand new dish cuisine every month. So try a brand new one. So I purchased a sushi maker. I'm making sushi, but I also was like, we're going to make some banh mi. I haven't made it in a long time. Followed the recipe. It was sheer perfection. My number 2 item for the week, the television series Bookish with Mark Gatiss.
Yes.
It is so good.
And the lovely Polly plays his wife.
Polly Walker plays the wife. It's a lavender marriage. It's not spoiling anything by me telling you that, because it comes out in like the first episode. There are 6 episodes in total currently. They're about 50 minutes, but it's 2 episodes per story, essentially.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. So they're on PBS if you want to stream them right now. Cried at the end of the last episode, was weeping.
I do believe there's a second season.
Yes, there's a second season that they're filming now. Cannot recommend it enough if you want a good post-war murder mystery.
I always wished that Sherlock did it as, instead of 3 feature lengths, did 6 two-parters.
I think it works a little bit better as 6 two-parters.
Yeah.
Anyways, cannot recommend this enough. Let's see. Third item of the week is part of my voracious reading. Is the Canon Clement Mysteries by Reverend Richard Coles. I have read the first 3 novels. There is a 4th novella that I've got to get my hands on, and there's a 5th book coming out in February. I will be purchasing it.
Yay.
And it is currently sitting on your kitchen counter over there for you to read whenever you get the chance to. So, yeah.
Richard Coles is his own cultural freeway in that he's the Reverend Richard Coles. He was part of the Commonards years back, which is incredibly queer culture of the 1980s.
Yes.
And obviously he's gay.
Yeah.
And so he's this... The BBC love him because he's funny, but he's also religious, but he's also very modern.
He's also very witty.
Yeah.
His writing is very approachable. I have an affinity for the characters he's created. The mysteries are not so mysterious as I was telling you, but the characters, I'm invested in the characters, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I want to know what's going to happen to them next.
And that's how Thursday Murder Club took off.
Yeah. All right, so what were your top 3 cultural moments of the week?
I'm going to begin with a Mary Berry Lemon Tart.
Oh, yes.
So I've done 2 this week.
Oh, you've done 2.
Because we had 2 dinners. Daniel and Peeps came over on Saturday. We did one for Wednesday. A lemon tart is, as I think everyone's had it, but what people probably don't know is it's egg-based, which means it has to be baked at a very low and slow temperature, otherwise it custards.
Yes.
And so they've both tasted good. Your one you had cracked because the oven had preheated too hot. And this week I did another one. The butter leaked and caused the oven to smoke, so I had to keep opening the oven, which at 300 is not what you want to do.
No.
It was better, but still not there. Very excited to keep this little, because this is a skill set.
Yes. Baking is very much a skill set. And I will say that lemon tart was divine.
Yes, because I did the cranberry one at Christmas. So it's the same family, but less juice involved in this one.
Yeah.
For television was a Palm Royale, the finale. That is a show that everyone's sleeping on. It's pure camp. There's a bit of a murder mystery, but there's not. It's this very high society, 1969 Florida. It's Alison Janney, it's Christine Wiig, Laura
Leslie
Dern. Leslie Bibb is amazing in it. And so I would just highly recommend. It's on Apple TV. I know it's a bit of a dirty word sometimes because it's another streaming service.
Oh.
Carol Burnett plays Norma, like the matriarch of it all, and does it so well, and is clearly having a great time. So that's fantastic. And my final bit of culture personally for the week is No Other Choice. It's a Korean movie directed by Park Chan-wook and starring Yoon Man-soo, who people will probably hyper familiar with from Squid Game. It's an excellent movie. It's up for it's probably likely best adapted screenplay, which is why I saw it. About a man. It's a very dark comedy about a man who loses his job and then takes drastic action to make sure he's the top candidate as he applies for new jobs.
Oh, I think I might know what that is if the title is No Other Choice.
Yes, but it's excellent. It's not a slasher. It's excellent. So that was culture for us, but we want to make sure that you're taken care of.
So who's your top, who's your bottom, and who's your lucky Pierre?
That's the question we're going to ask you first, Daniel.
Yes. So let's see. In my bottom news for the week, trans activist Ruby Corrado gets 33 months in prison and is required to pay over $1 million to victims. So in DC news, essentially this was a trans activist who ran Casa Ruby, which was a safe space for trans individuals, and allegedly diverted COVID funds, but also was accused of fraud of other funds that came through. There was an entire story that happened here in DC because they escaped to somewhere in South America for a little bit. It was
crazy.
It was high drama here in DC. So I'm so sorry if this was not news for everyone else, but it was for us here.
Kind of felt a bit like what happens in Palm Royale in the second season.
Yeah. And it was weird because they voluntarily came back and they surrendered. And it was just an entire ordeal. My top news for the week was that MacKenzie Scott has announced that she is donating $45 million to the California-based Trevor Project. This was after the Trevor Project, which is a hotline that helps individuals who are LGBTQ+ that are contemplating suicide. It helps get them back mentally into a much better space. Anyways, provided funding because their funding had been cut by the current administration.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing, a net positive in the world, in my opinion. And so my lucky Pierre for the week, and this wasn't really a title, it's sort of an amalgamation, but Emerald Fennell, the lovely Emerald Fennell, has confirmed the quotation marks in the title of Wuthering Heights.
So the question I have, Daniel, then, is why is this your top culture of the week?
So it's the top culture for the week because there was a recent photo shoot that was announced this week. I think it was Monday that started hitting the feeds, showing more of the costume displays in Wuthering Heights. And looking at those costumes, it was quite clear that they were not historically accurate.
Yeah.
In fact, they were based on styles from like the 1960s. And they were very very much of scenes that did not happen in Wuthering Heights. As someone who has read it, I'm like, that did not happen by any stretch of the imagination. Like, don't get me wrong, that book is quite horny, for lack of a better word.
I've not read it for at least 15 years.
Same. I mean, I remember it was rather racy, but I was like, Kathy was not in that outfit at any point in any of the storylines. And I'm just like, I don't know what is going on here. So Emerald Fennell, the lovely Emerald Fennell, I could listen to that woman read a phone book. She is, her accent is so wonderful. Did an interview, and the interviewer asked, so quotations, what's going on with the quotations? And Emerald said, this is indeed an adaptation. That the source material is so dense and so complicated that there is no way that you can put what you're reading exactly on the screen. And she said part of whenever you're reading, though, is that you have this experience where the story is going on in your mind's eye. And you have certain expectations of what happens. And that there are two versions of the book. There's what you read, and there's what you wish happens. And so she's like, I remember being 14 years old and, thinking that she really wanted this event to happen or for that event to happen. And she's like, and people are all coming to it having had those moments. And so she wanted to create something that was approachable. And let me tell you, it made so much sense because it confirmed what we've all been thinking for months, that, oh, is this going to be true to the book? No, this is going to be Emerald Fennell's remembrance of reading the book and what she experienced. So it will have the ethos of the book, but you might have a scene where Heathcliff and Kathy do something that didn't happen in the book, but that's, reading the words of the Brontes, and it's just like, oh, you really wanted Heathcliff to like rip the bodice off of Kathy in that moment. It looks like that's going to happen. Yeah. That's what we're getting at.
I read that quote because we were discussing about the same time, and she said that she felt that every adaptation should have quotes around the title.
Yes.
This has been an ongoing thing. Like, we can go back to like, movies have to be adapted, and there are good adaptations and there are bad adaptations.
Right.
Sorry for the adaptations. And so you love the Joe Wright Pride and Prejudice. I love the Joe Wright Pride and Prejudice, but at the time in England, we really did have the BBC version, which is pretty much word for word. There's very little. But so when we, as an audience, when we watched it, it was the Joe Wright is excellent. And I think because we had the BBC 6-part miniseries, we were like, well, that's the one. If we want to see it accurate, if you want to see it word for word, that's
word for word, go to that one. But if you want to have the feeling of it, you go see Joe Wright.
Once you've read the I bought you Brideshead Revisited, there is a very early, there's a 1980s version with Jeremy Irons. That is actually word for word. And they actually, to the point where it was the BBC was so confident in it, or ITV, they went out and they actually, during filming, extended it to make sure to include the missing chapters.
Oh, wow.
And then you've got the version later on with Emma Thompson as Lady Marchmain.
Yes, I remember that one.
And the lovely, who plays Charles Ryder in that one? Matthew Good.
Yes, and Ben Whishaw was in it.
Ben Whishaw. Yeah. And that one also adjusted the homosexual storyline.
Yes.
That's an excellent adaptation. So I would watch the BBC, the ITV, but then watch the one where they had to get creative to compress it into 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it is excellent because they all get the characters. Yes, I know a major chunk of the book is gone. Gone with the Wind took out one of her husbands.
Yes. She was married enough. They took off one of the husbands.
It is hard with adaptations, and I know like Palm Royale is an adaptation of a book, but I read what the original book is about. I'm like, why are you saying it's an adaptation?
Yeah.
Is like, just pay them some money and say it's that you like the concept. I feel like I'd be so disappointed if my book was adapted like that was. Not because it's bad, but because it's not adapting the book. Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the book.
Do you think though? How do you feel though about Emerald saying this? Because it is a beloved book, Wuthering Heights. At the same time as you do have multiple TV adaptations of it, which have got progressively more accurate as time has gone on.
So at the very least, I think it buys her. I think it's wise because I think it buys her some grace. I think it buys her some grace because, if it is not 100% accurate, she can always say, I told you it was an adaptation. I told you that these were some of the events I wanted to happen when I was reading it that didn't happen in the story, but they still fit thematically with what was going on. I think it allows people to approach it because they're like, oh, well, maybe that's the image I have in it now too.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing saying it's an adaptation, because otherwise, if she was doing this press junket for it, they're like Wuthering Heights. They'd be like, are you adding this scene? Are you adding that scene? Why did you cut this scene? And she doesn't have to do that explanation. Yeah. It can stand on its own as this is what Emerald's version of it is.
And it said the BBC have got, I think one came out a couple of years back.
I feel like it did, or it was something about the Brontes. Either one.
They've definitely done, because I think it was I can never remember her name. She was in the second. She was Effie in Skins. She got a very interesting name, but she did a version where she played Kathy. And I know there has been a lot of criticism regarding Jacob as Heathcliff,
Lordy,
because he is meant to be of darker skin.
Yeah.
I love the poster for it because it's the two of them embracing against a white background. If you've ever seen a 1970s novel of the movie of any romance movie that
it's
came
very
out,
much that. It is hearkening to that.
It's looking back. I mean, she annoyingly, I think Emerald's younger than me, but she
grew up on it.
Yeah, she grew up on it in a sense of like, I'm so gutted that she's so successful. But you know, it's very much a pastiche and homage to a lot of different sources, and I think that's what people need to look at.
Well, I mean, if you look at the clips that have been promoted this past week, because I think there's been an edit to one of the trailers.
Yeah, I saw it. It looks excellent.
It looks excellent, but some of the background and lighting choices are very much calling back to Gone with the Wind, which is why I was glad you brought that up. But it's always very saturated, and it's very exaggerated, and it's one of these, it does very much feel like it's different than, you know, what you might expect, but it works too at the same time. I don't know how else to put it, but I think it was wise that she's sort of put this to bed of, it's an adaptation, and it's going to differ. Like, she's priming you to go in there with the expectation of, it's not going to be exactly what you read. It's not accurate. So, Max, what was your top and bottom in Lucky Pierre for this week?
Well, my bottom was the 2026 Golden Globes.
Oh.
It was mainly because it was third in place.
Oh.
I didn't really have some bad news, but obviously no. So I'm gonna give you my quick AI spiel of it. Notable winners were Hamnet, which I loved. I'm very excited. It's doing very well. The Irish are really taking over at the moment. So that was one for Best Motion Picture of Drama, whereas One Battle After Another, again, amazing musical or comedy. That should be really highlighted at Golden Globes, because it also includes TV, also split the categories quite a bit.
Yes.
So Paul Thomas Anderson won for Best Director. Obviously, One Battle After Another. Acting awards went to the lovely Jessie Buckley, who people are now discovering was in a reality TV show in the UK to be the next Nancy and Oliver. Yes, I remember on that.
No, I'm just curious why they're just now discovering this.
It's because it's Americans discovering it. But after that, she went on to do a little night music on the Many a Chocolate Factory, where she went up against the formidable Hannah Waddingham. Acting awards went to obviously Jessie Buckley, and then Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. That's in a drama, with Rose Byrne, If It Had Legs I'd Kick You, and Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme in a comedy. I keep pisses me off that Rose Byrne's movie was only out like one fucking week, and I missed it. It's the only one I have not seen, but I'm up for her for Oscar. But I think she might have a hard time against Jessie Buckley.
Do you think you can stream it somewhere?
Oh, it will be streamed.
Okay.
I'll pay for that one.
Okay.
And then obviously supporting was down to Tiana Taylor for One Battle and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. All of it is shaping up to be how we thought it was. My top of the week, Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Studios announced a leadership transition. Kathleen Kennedy stepping down. She was the first president of Lucasfilm after George Lucas moving away.
Right.
Of it. So Dave Filoni, who is famous for working with Lucas and sort of being his protege during the development of the Clone Wars cartoon series, is going to be taking over as the president and chief creative officer alongside Lin-Wen Brennan, who is going to be co-president and be dealing with a lot more of the financial situation.
Okay.
I think that's an excellent choice to split the two. I know that Kathleen Kennedy's recent tenure there has been hit and miss. I think they've
Yeah,
been working out
yeah.
a lot. I know that Lucas wasn't overly happy of how much she followed in the pattern of the originals and wanted something new and fresh for the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But we've got some exciting films coming out. I trust Dave Filoni, and we've also got the amazing Ryan Gosling in Starfighter, which is going to be excellent because apparently even Tom Cruise did a wee bit of directing for one of the lightsaber battles.
Ooh.
He came on set to say hi, and I said, "Do you want to get behind the camera?" And he did.
Well,
That leaves then, Daniel, my lucky Pierre of the week, which is going to be Heated Rivalry.
so why is Heated Rivalry your lucky Pierre?
Well, no one will shut up about it.
It's so true.
So the Hubs and I eventually watched it. We did not watch it before Christmas because we watched all the Christmas stuff then. It's good. It took us a while to get into it. I know everyone loves it. I know it's representation. I know it's a lot of good crack-off material. But if you, I'm 40. I saw early 2000s a lot of TIFF released movies.
Yeah.
So it felt
The
like
TL Rising.
yeah, we all saw this already. So for me, there's a little bit of we've kind of seen this already.
So do you feel like people are talking about it because this is mass culture and they just don't know indie gay culture?
Yeah, I think that, and that's fair enough. You know, I think one of the biggest issues of getting older is you start to see stuff repeat.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm watching.
There's nothing new under the sun.
I watch EastEnders and I go, "We've done this storyline. Oh shit, that was 20 years ago." You know,
Oops. Guess it is time to recycle it.
But no, it does. It is a bitch, and I wasn't overly happy with the direction of it. I do think it. I know they had to do it on a severe budget because apparently one streamer wanted to make it in America, and they're like, "But you have to cut all this and that out." So they took a lower budget to get more content. I did think some of it, especially the first 2 episodes, there's a lot of time jumps. They're not done very originally. It's all very much like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, can we think of a different way to pass the passage of time? Which is great. But no, I think that, and the 3rd episode is where you have the subplot come in, which is the other alternative player. I like the Hubs and I preferred that one. But overall, I can see why it's hit the lexicon. I do think it's fantastic that we have this representation. This is what everyone's talking about it. Unfortunately, my issue is slightly now that I'm jokingly that Gayest Episode Ever, one of my favourite podcasts, is ending, and they're using their reasoning behind ending it as, well, we've got now Heated Rivalry, and they're like, that's what we've been fighting for. We've won. They're only joking.
Oh,
you know?
God. I was want to put, please don't tell me that was the reason why they've stopped.
But it has obviously, some of the cultural stories that have come out of it before I, talk to you a little bit more about it, is that let's have a look at some of the stories I had up. Is actually the hockey player I think he's retired, come out though as gay, which is amazing.
Quoted the series as part of the inspiration for it, and I can't remember the name. I'm so bad on this.
Yeah, but then other downsides of it are that people have got really into it, and then they're coming after the players if they're the actors in it if they're seen interacting with the wrong other actor.
Right.
You're like, are you kidding me? They're not really in a relationship.
Right.
So what is your you haven't watched it, have you?
So I haven't watched it. I have been inundated on Instagram with reels about it. I have had friends send it to me. I have had individuals be like, oh, wouldn't it be really nice to role play this scene? And I'm like, I am not a hockey player. I am not role playing this scene. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And if I see the phrase "the cottage" one more time on someone's profile, I will chuck it out the window. I've just started blocking people because I'm like, oh my God, how unoriginal you are. And I know I sound really bitter in this moment.
Yeah.
But it's everywhere. And I'm like, why is this everywhere? Yeah.
It's good. It's just, it's caught the imagination. I don't know how people have this. I've watched it 5 times already. I'm like, it's not that good.
And that's the problem is the people who have watched it, they're going, hog wild over it, and I'm like, there are other things to be consuming.
But then people went mad over Heartstopper, and I like Heartstopper, but I never connected with it on certain levels because it was too fantasy for me.
Yeah.
It's I can't see another genderqueer person run about with fairy lights, and I'm like, I get it. It's we should all be smiley. But no,
it's not realistic, though.
I do see how it's caught the imagination. I do. It does make me laugh that it's really popular with women. It's because it's seeing men in a very sexual yet sensitive manner. Of course they're going to find it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of shock for me. I think for me it's revealed a lack of cultural awareness. That's why I'm a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad for it, and I'm very happy it existing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I do think I'm hoping it does pave the way, like, for more of a mainstream like gay representation.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a lot of, and I know that there's been a lot of studies recently to show there is a distinct lack of it.
Yes.
So we shall see if it actually does result in a new increase in representation in the industry. But at the same time,
who's to say?
and there's other stuff out there. Like, I really want to try and catch up on, like, Fellow Travelers, which I feel like kind of came about, then was missed. That was the one with Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
And then also but then last year we had Overcompensating, which I thought was excellent. That again took a couple of episodes to realise why we're telling this story, but we shall see. Do you think you'll watch it?
I don't know. It's not okay. Let me put it this way: today, with the weather like it is, I'm probably going to go home and watch it. I don't think that's going to be top on my list of watching. Like, it's not.
That's the only top in your life,
right?
But no, I would, if you get a chance to watch it, do it.
But you're only on episode 3, right?
We've got up to episode 5, and it's excellent.
Okay.
I think if you're enjoying your books, I would stick with your books.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just stick with my books.
But
be boring like
I think it's definitely not terrible,
mm-hmm.
but I'm hoping it also doesn't lower the standards of what people.
So I think my fear is with this is its representation, and it's added this to the lexicon. I hope that there's not a now knockoff series of some sort that is very similar to it, and then suddenly that's like, oh no, it's this now, and it's just like, there are much better things.
Let's show this confidence feed into other shows.
Yes, that are different.
Perfect. So that was all the culture for this week, Daniel. But what do you think might be the culture coming forward in the next week?
Oh, we're going back to having this question, aren't we?
Do you have any vibes at the moment?
Vibes at the moment. Here in DC, I'm sure there's going to be another story of some sort.
Yeah, it's getting a bit repetitive.
I'm sure that we're going to hear these horrible tried and true stories from MAL weekend that neither one of us are participating in, from people that we don't want to hear from. I don't know. I'm hoping there's like a good royal story of some sort next week.
Perfect.
How about you?
For me, I think now with the Golden Globes out the way, we're going to get a lot more clarity with the Oscars. So for me, it's moving into movie season a lot more. Yeah. I've seen most of it. I'm really pleased about. But I think we're going to see a lot more emphasis on, like, people are going to have that focus on what next. And I think a lot more discussion about some movies that really deserve to be discussed a lot more than they actually were.
Very good. So I've been Daniel.
And I've been Max.
And thank you for being our third this week.
Goodbye. A big thank you to everyone for tuning in to Daniel Max's Cultural Threeway and for giving us a listen.
Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and follow us on the socials.
You can find us under Bearded Bitch Pod or Bitches with Beards. Please remember that only a mother could love our views and opinions, and they reflect us and no one else.
We'll be here next week, unless we're cancelled.